Sam Elliott destroyed his own career with one brutal sentence that shocked Hollywood forever. The year was 2022, and America's most beloved cowboy was sitting across from comedian Marc Maron, about to say something that would make headlines worldwide. But before we get to that career-ending moment, you need to understand how a kid from Sacramento became the most authentic man in Hollywood, and why that authenticity almost cost him everything. Sacramento, baby Sam Elliott enters the world during World War II, born to parents who couldn't be more different. His mother Glynn was a champion diver from Texas who gave up her dreams to become a teacher. His father Henry worked for the government, hunting down dangerous animals as a predator control specialist. This wasn't a glamorous job, but it taught young Sam something crucial about life and death. When Sam turned 13, his family moved to Portland, Oregon. Gone were the sunny California dreams, replaced by gray Pacific Northwest reality. It was here, in their modest Oregon home, that teenage Sam made a confession that would change everything. He looked his father in the eye and said he wanted to be a movie star. Henry Elliott's response was swift and crushing. "Son, you've got about a snowball's chance in hell of making it in Hollywood." Most kids would have been destroyed by those words. Sam Elliott was different. Instead of giving up, he made a promise to himself. If he was going to make it, he'd do it his way, no matter how long it took. While other teenagers were playing sports or chasing girls, Sam was studying. Every Saturday, he'd sit in dark movie theaters, watching John Wayne, Jimmy Stewart and Gary Cooper command the screen. But Sam wasn't just watching for entertainment. He was learning how real men acted, how they moved, how they spoke. He was building his future character one movie at a time. After high school, Sam's path to stardom looked nothing like Hollywood fairy tales. He worked construction, lifting heavy materials under the burning sun. He served in the California Air National Guard, learning discipline and duty. He took any acting job he could find, even if it meant just one line in a forgettable film. His first real break came in 1969 with Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Sam had maybe 3 lines, but something about his presence made people remember him. Hollywood executives saw Sam Elliott and immediately knew what to do with him. Tall mustache, deep voice, he was their cowboy. But Sam had different plans. While other actors grabbed every role offered, Sam started saying no. His agents were furious. They watched millions of dollars walk away because their client wouldn't compromise his principle. "I've turned down a lot of stuff because it's not the kind of guy I want to represent myself as." Sam would later explain, "This wasn't ego talking, this was a man who understood something most actors never learn. Your career isn't just about the roles you take, it's about the roles you refuse." The 1970s and 80s saw Sam building his reputation one authentic performance at a time. Lifeguard in 1976 showed he could do more than westerns. Mask in 1985 proved he had dramatic range. But it was 1993's Tombstone that made him a legend. As Virgil Earp, Sam brought something special to the screen. He wasn't acting like a cowboy, he was being one. Behind the scenes, Sam was fighting battles most fans never knew about. Studio executives wanted him to take romantic comedy roles, action movie parts, anything that would make quick money. Sam kept refusing. His agents would scream at him in meetings, "You're throwing away your career," they'd shout. Sam would just smile and walk away. The real Sam Elliott was nothing like his tough guy image suggested. He married actress Catherine Ross in 1984, after meeting her on the set of The Legacy. Their love story became Hollywood legend, 40 years of marriage in an industry where relationships last 6 months. They bought a ranch in Malibu, where Sam could live out his cowboy dreams away from cameras. But staying authentic in Hollywood isn't easy. The industry changes fast, and actors who don't adapt get left behind. Sam watched as method acting became popular, with stars like Jared Leto isolating themselves for months to prepare for roles. That wasn't Sam's way. He brought himself to every character, finding the truth inside each role. This approach would lead to one of the most surprising collaborations of Sam's career. When Netflix offered him a role in The Ranch alongside Ashton Kutcher, many people were confused. What could a 73-year-old cowboy and a 40-year-old comedy star possibly have in common? The answer surprised everyone, including Kutcher himself. Instead of clashing, Sam became a mentor, but not the kind who gives long speeches about life lessons. Sam led by example. When writers proposed scenes that felt fake, Sam would simply say, "That ain't right, it wouldn't be like that." His influence was so strong that Kutcher later admitted, "Having him around, you can't help but take on the same attitude." The ranch became a masterclass in authenticity. Sam refused to let Hollywood tricks ruin the show's reality. Every detail had to be perfect, how a rancher would actually dress, talk and behave. The younger actors learned that authenticity wasn't just about method acting or research. It was about understanding your character's soul. But the most revealing moment came when Danny Masterson, Sam's other co-star, tried to challenge him on a scene. Masterson suggested they change a detail to make it funnier, even if it wasn't realistic. Sam's response was swift and final, "That ain't right, it wouldn't be like." The room went silent. Nobody argued with Sam Elliott. What made this dynamic even more interesting was the generational gap. Kutcher represented the new Hollywood, social media savvy, brand conscious, always thinking about the next opportunity. Sam represented the old school, craft-focused, principle-driven, unconcerned with trends, yet somehow they found common ground. Kutcher later revealed that working with Sam changed his entire approach to acting. "I started asking myself, what would Sam do before every scene?" Kutcher admitted. The transformation was visible on screen. Kutcher's performance became more grounded, more authentic, less concerned with being likable and more focused on being real. But Sam's commitment to authenticity would soon create his biggest controversy. His friend Kevin Costner had created a hit TV show called Yellowstone, a modern western that millions of Americans loved. Everyone expected Sam to join the cast. Instead, he not only refused the role but did something that shocked Hollywood. Here's where it gets interesting. Sam and Kevin weren't just colleagues, they were real friends. They'd worked together on The Postman in 1997, and Sam genuinely respected Kevin as a person. But friendship couldn't overcome Sam's principle. Sitting in Marc Maron's podcast studio, Sam dropped a bomb that would explode across social media. "I'm not a Yellowstone fan," he said bluntly. "I love Costner, nothing against any of them, but it's just too much like Dallas or something for me." The comparison to Dallas, the famously over-the-top 1980s soap opera, was devastating. Sam was basically saying that Yellowstone had betrayed everything westerns should represent. What made this even more shocking was what happened behind the scenes. Sources close to the show revealed that Taylor Sheridan had specifically written scenes with Sam in mind. The creators wanted him so badly they were willing to build entire storylines around his character, but Sam turned it all down, walking away from what could have been millions of dollars and guaranteed fame. Kevin Costner's reaction was telling. Instead of firing back publicly, he stayed silent. Those close to both actors said Kevin understood Sam's position, even if he disagreed with. This wasn't about ego or jealousy, it was about two different visions of what the American West should represent on screen. The reaction was immediate and brutal. Yellowstone fans attacked Sam online. Industry insiders called him jealous and bitter, but Sam didn't back down. He explained that modern westerns had become soap operas with cowboy hats, full of melodrama and family betrayals instead of the moral clarity that made westerns great. This controversy was nothing compared to what came next. In 2021, Jane Campion's film The Power of the Dog became a critical darling, earning Oscar nominations and widespread praise. The film starred Benedict Cumberbatch as a mysterious Montana rancher, and critics called it a masterpiece of modern cinema. Sam Elliott saw it very differently. Returning to Marc Maron's podcast, Sam unleashed a critique that would make headlines around the world. He mocked the film's actors, comparing them to male strippers and questioning why they spent so much time in chaps without ever doing real ranch work. "All these cowboys in this movie looked like Chippendale dancers," Sam said, his voice dripping with disgust. But here's what made it personal. Sam wasn't just attacking the movie, he was attacking Benedict Cumberbatch specifically. Cumberbatch never got out of his chaps. Sam "Where's the Western in this Western? The British actor known for playing Sherlock Holmes and Doctor Strange, suddenly found himself in the crosshairs of America's most beloved cowboy. What Sam didn't expect was how Benedict would respond. Sources close to Cumberbatch revealed that the actor was genuinely hurt by the personal nature of the attacks. Benedict had spent months preparing for the role, working with dialect coaches and studying American ranch culture. He'd taken the part seriously, only to be mocked by Hollywood royalty. But Sam's most controversial comment targeted director Jane Campion herself. "What the hell does this woman from New Zealand know about the American West?" Sam asked. The question hit Hollywood like a lightning bolt. Critics called Sam sexist, xenophobic, and completely out of touch. Social media exploded with anger. The irony wasn't lost on industry insiders. Jane Campion had won the Academy Award for Best Director, making her only the third woman ever to receive that honor. She was at the peak of her career, and now she was being questioned by a man who had never directed a single film. Benedict Cumberbatch's response was classy but firm. In interviews he defended Campion's vision while acknowledging Sam's right to his opinion. "I respect Sam Elliott as an actor," Cumberbatch said diplomatically, "but I disagree with his assessment of our film." The British politeness only made Sam's attacks look more brutal by comparison. The backlash was unlike anything Sam had experienced. Articles called him a relic from a bygone era. Younger actors distanced themselves from his comments. Industry veterans stayed silent, afraid to defend him. At 77 years old, Sam Elliott watched his reputation crumble in real time. But what happened next revealed the true character of Sam Elliott. Instead of doubling down or making excuses, he did something rare in Hollywood. He admitted he was wrong. In a heartfelt statement to Deadline, Sam apologized sincerely. "I can only say that I'm sorry," he said, expressing genuine remorse to the cast and crew of The Power of the Dog, especially Benedict Cumberbatch. The apology wasn't just public relations damage control. It was a man grappling with the realization that his passion for authenticity had led him to hurt people he respected. Sam acknowledged that his delivery was hurtful, and admitted he sometimes wasn't very articulate about his deeply held belief. This moment of vulnerability showed a different side of Sam's authenticity, not just the tough exterior, but the capacity for growth and genuine remorse. He maintained his respect for the actor's work while acknowledging that his blunt honesty had crossed a line. The controversy could have ended Sam's career. Instead, it led to his greatest triumph. Creator Taylor Sheridan, who Sam had previously criticized, offered him the lead role in 1883, a prequel to Yellowstone. The role of Shea Brennan would require Sam to embody everything he believed about the American West: honor, sacrifice, and the brutal cost of pursuing dreams. At nearly 80 years old, Sam took on the most physically demanding role of his career. Long days in harsh weather, convincing horseback riding, and emotional scenes that drew on decades of experience. His performance was extraordinary, earning him a Screen Actors Guild Award and reminding Hollywood why they needed voices like his. The success of 1883 proved something important about authenticity. Audiences could tell the difference between actors playing cowboys and a man who lived the cowboy code. Sam's performance wasn't just acting, it was a lifetime of preparation finally paying off. But Sam's greatest achievement might have been his influence on younger actors. Bradley Cooper cast him in A Star Is Born, leading to Sam's first Oscar nomination at age 74. But what happened between Cooper and Elliot on that set was remarkable. Cooper was directing his first film while also starring in it, an incredibly stressful situation. He needed someone he could trust completely, someone who would tell him the truth even when it hurt. That someone was Sam Elliott. Cooper later revealed that Sam became his anchor during the most challenging period of his career. Sam never sugarcoated anything, Cooper explained in interviews. If a scene wasn't working, he'd tell me. If I was pushing too hard as a director, he'd pull me aside. He saved that move. The relationship went beyond professional courtesy. Cooper genuinely looked up to Sam as a father figure, something that showed in their on-screen chemistry. The Oscar nomination was sweet validation for Sam, but what meant more was Cooper's respect. Here was one of Hollywood's biggest stars, someone who could work with anyone,
choosing to lean on a 74-year-old character actor. It proved that authenticity still had value in modern Hollywood. The story gets even better when you look at Nicolas Cage, another actor whose career intersected with Sam's in unexpected ways. They worked together on Ghost Rider's Spirit of Vengeance, and the experience couldn't have been more different from Sam's work with Coop. Cage was famous for his intense, over-the-top performances, method acting taken to extremes, where he'd stay in character between takes, and make unusual choices that sometimes worked brilliantly, and sometimes failed spectacularly. Sam watched this approach with fascination and mild bewilderment. "Nick does his thing, and I do mine," Sam said diplomatically when asked about working with Cage. But crew members revealed that Sam was often the calming presence on set when Cage's intensity became overwhelming. While Cage would pace around in full costume, muttering to himself, Sam would sit quietly, reading a book or talking to the horses used in the film. The contrast was striking, two completely different approaches to the same craft. Cage transformed himself completely for every role. Sam brought himself to every character. Both methods worked, but they represented opposite philosophies about what acting should be. This philosophical difference became even more apparent when you consider Jared Leto, another actor known for extreme method technique. Leto would isolate himself for months preparing for roles, sending disturbing gifts to co-stars, and completely disappearing into characters. Sam's approach was the exact opposite. He believed authenticity came from being yourself, not from becoming someone else. Industry insiders often wondered what would happen if Sam and Leto ever worked together. The steady, grounded cowboy and the unpredictable method actor seemed like they existed in different universes, but both were respected for their commitment to their craft, just in completely different ways. Today, Sam Elliott represents something increasingly rare in Hollywood. In an industry built on image and calculation, he measures success by the integrity of his choices. Every role he turned down, every controversial statement he made, every time he chose principle over profit, he was making a bet that authenticity would ultimately be more valuable than immediate success. That bet has paid off in ways that extend far beyond his own career. In an era of manufactured social media personas and carefully crafted celebrity images, Sam Elliott stands as proof that authenticity isn't just a marketing strategy, it's a way of life. The man who was told he had a snowball's chance in hell didn't just make it in Hollywood, he became its moral center. His mustache may be grayer now, his voice more gravelly, but his commitment to being exactly who he is remains unshakable. Sam Elliott's story proves that the most radical thing you can do in Hollywood is simply be yourself. He showed that you can evolve without abandoning your principles, that you can succeed without compromising your soul, and that sometimes the most lasting impact comes not from chasing trends but from standing firm in your belief. Hit that subscribe button if you believe authenticity still matters in Hollywood, because Sam Elliott's legacy is just getting started.